Maintenance. Oh, Tracy. Tracy, that's what they were in the whole project, we had to like sign some digital.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe Tracy did it. Maybe you should just, stop being the owner of Subway.
No, what? It makes money.
I'm sure it does. Enough money to make it worth it.
When you sell it.
Right? Just, I mean, can you imagine how would I keep an employee, how would I keep any employees, you know, like, it's easy enough for you to look the other way,
Don't get in trouble.
right?
I'll put that to your deal.
This is gonna be a real conflict for me.
All right, folks, it's 6 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order. The city council meeting on July 8th, 2024. Bryce is not here, so bear with me. I didn't have much time to prepare for this. Looks like the first thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes from June 24th, and also we need to pay the bills and vouchers. If there's not any discussion there, we need a motion. And a second.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for June 24th, 2024, and to pay the bills. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion approved. Previous business. What we got? Nothing?
The water line will be at the next meeting. The water line bids
Yeah.
are open until the next meeting.
I was thinking about this the other evening regarding water lines on that, on the one main line from Gaylor that we're looking at having replaced.
The transmission.
Yeah. I assume that line has the grandfather feeder lines to the residents that would cross their pasture, whatever, the grandfather clause, and they get free water. Is that?
To an extent, they can't be used in their home
Right.
or some other.
So when we were looking at that line to be replaced, are the engineers aware of these feeder lines?
Yes, we gave them a copy of each of these.
So there's no surprises there?
Correct.
That's good. Okay, so that's all the previous business we had?
Yes.
Nothing else. Okay, new business? Nothing.
Does somebody have?
Okay. Any you guys or gals have any other new business to discuss that's not on the agenda? I guess move into departmental reports. Is that where we're at next, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. So ED, Nick is here.
Yeah.
I'm here. You may have the floor.
What's that?
You may have the floor, please.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just following up on the application from last time. I apologize. I missed that meeting here, but I think there was a question about, there was one program application, and it was a two-parter. It was from Kelsey Griffin, and she's starting a daycare. She already has started a daycare. And so she made an application for a Jumpstart grant and a residential revitalization grant. The Jumpstart grant we approved. I mean, that's pretty standard for about any new business that asks for it. She did provide all the documentation, business plan, all that. There was a residential revitalization application, but we denied that one. Significantly did not increase the property value, didn't create new housing. So those are the main things that we look for. It was just some things she wanted done to the backyard for the daycare. And we just thought they just needed to either fall within the 5,000 Jumpstart grant that she was already getting, or that's just another expense that a business owner just needs to take on. So really the only thing in front of the council is the Jumpstart application. We approved that for up to 5,000 to be taken in a lump sum. And that's really the only thing I have, but just need for you guys to vote on that one.
What was the discussion we had on that? Don, do you recall?
Well, we didn't have much, but the more I thought about that, we're trying to establish a daycare. and they're having trouble with kids, and now we're given a jump to start another daycare that would
Right.
be in direct competition with that.
Well, and I don't know, so that was, Nancy's on the board and she's on the daycare board. And so we always like defer to her on those kind of conversations. Everything I've gotten from her is there's not a problem with getting kids at the daycare as much as it is help to expand to cover the kids, And so, yes, I agree. One hand, yeah, we're trying to support this, but also it's a business, that came in and applied for a loan. And even though it's a competitor to, potentially another one, so is every other business that comes in and we get a Jumpstart grant too. So that was the purpose or the rationale that we were using in our, consideration of it.
And I don't think we were aware of what the $5,000 was going to be utilized for.
Yeah, that's just, so the Jumpstart grant application or the Jumpstart grant is used for any kind of startup costs that would happen in the first couple of years of a business. So what somebody can do is elect to take that in part, like over a monthly period, or they can take it all as a lump sum, but it's to be used towards rent, overhead, utilities, staffing costs, things like that, just to get up. They're not supposed to use it to purchase equipment specifically, but everything else is really on the table for that. So again, that's why
This is in her house. Right?
This is in her house, correct? Yep. And I also think it should be noted that she has a relationship with Travis Ray, who's on our board, and Travis just totally left the meeting, abstained from voting on the matter. I just wanted to make that a record.
My biggest problem with this is if we get into doing at-home businesses, Jumpstart grants,
Yeah,
we've got to define whether, this is your previous utilities, or if they're trying to use utilities as your reason for the Jumpstart grant.
yep,
I mean, we're going to have everybody selling makeup, trying to get this.
Yeah.
We'll have,
yep,
this could snowball.
yeah. And I agree. I think you bring up a good point, and that's something I think that our board should discuss and figure out how do we address that? Because I agree with you. Like anybody that sells paparazzi jewelry or makeup or whatever could theoretically come in there and say, "Hey, I would like some of this too."
And we end up paying their utility.
Right. Yeah. Yep. But I will take that to note, Brady. I think that's a great point. In fact, my sticker. Any other questions?
On her application, does she have, I'm assuming is it mainly utilities that she's going to cover? I mean,
I think she had
it's
other
not
costs in
It's
there.
not supposed to go to self-pay.
No. In fact, let me see if I got her application. Wow. Tell you what she put on there. I'm sorry, I should have printed that out before I came. I think it might be on a shared drive link I can't access here. Yeah, she just had her normal like utility costs. I mean, she had some costs with, getting some things safety wise situated. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna have the whole file. I can
Okay.
email to you guys.
Well, I don't think that we should be paying their house utilities that they've already been paying if
Right.
they're going to move the business in. If there's an expected increase, which I'm sure there's going to be an increase in water
Right.
and that sort of stuff, but
Right.
I think that needs to be noted if we're going to do an at-home business. What is the actual increase in your
Yeah.
costs going to
Right.
be?
Where do you see that difference being?
Yeah.
For sure.
Um,
For sure.
I think that's the only way you can keep this from getting out of hand.
Okay. Tracy, Dawn, any other questions or comments?
No.
So we're at a point here, we either need to make a motion to approve it or not. I think Brady brought up some good points that, that's gonna be a moving target of how to define that without muddying the water in regard to what's acceptable and what's not, but.
Right.
The ED is,
Yeah, we'll tackle that. We'll put that on our agenda for our meeting next week.
and if you guys are confident that there's a need for this service for additional child care in town, which I think there is too. obviously,
Yeah.
Then, do business is good business, so, that's just my thoughts, so
Sure.
as long as the $5,000 are defined as to above and beyond typical household expenses,
Right.
so.
I would agree.
Does anybody want to make that motion?
I'll second it.
All right.
Motion by Dawn, second by Brady. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Okay. And I'll definitely, we'll bring that up as one of our, because I agree with everything you said. It's just a slippery slope when you get into the home business
And I
especially.
think if you go in there and say, this is gonna be used for an increase in expenses,
Right.
not what your
Right.
baseline is right now.
Right, for sure. Yep. No, I think that's good. Other than that, just kind of updating you guys, the applicant that we had, for the director job, they decided to stay with their current position. So we're back on the horse looking for somebody there. We also had a meeting, the Chamber of Commerce, their board of directors, or a couple of their board of directors came to our meeting. And we talked about sharing resources, potentially sharing an employee. And so we're working, moving forward. They're coming back to our meeting again this week or next week. And we're going to have some more discussions about, what their threshold or what their expectations of job description is. And can we hire somebody then that there's some overlap or build some team that is able to support both of them, but also needing to keep the distinction of what Chamber of Commerce is and economic development very different too, because we realize they're two different functions and they need to be separated that way. But just wanted to let you guys know we are working with their board to see how we can share some resources, because they've had a hard time just trying to hire anybody for what they can afford to pay and part-time and whatnot. So it kind of makes some sense there to have some synergy. Other than that, that's about it, main wise.
Dawn, anything else?
Nope.
Tracy?
Nope.
Brady?
Thank you guys for
Cool.
keeping volunteering and
Yeah.
keeping it going.
Yeah. Kind of just seems like my normal job now. All right, we'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Golf course, anybody here?
Hi, I'm Kristen Goblin.
Okay,
They just have some board member updates. Mike Hoover and Greg Hobelman resigned from the board, so a motion will be needed to accept those resignations, and then a motion to add Kate Max.
I'm a motion to accept the two resignations.
Second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved to accept the resignation of Mike Hoover and Greg Hobelman. Okay, then we can get a motion to add Kate Maxwell to the board, is that correct?
That is correct.
I'll
So
motion.
moved. Oh, so moved. Okay.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second on the table. All those in favor, say aye.
Let's hear we go.
Aye.
Motion approved to accept Kate Maxwell to the board. Okay. Anything else on the golf?
No.
Let's see.
Only action.
Okay. Jamie, you got anything for us?
Well, I think the new fireworks ordinance that we put in place worked pretty good, because I mean, it gave, everybody kind of a place, from 8 to midnight. I didn't have a lot of complaints, I had a couple, but nothing too far after midnight or anything like that, so I thought that went well with the 4th anyway. Kind of a long week there, because there's some, people still shooting off on Saturday night to, have family back and stuff. They waited until the weekend to do it, so.
Okay.
Other than that, I really don't have anything. I got my certification hours, gotta get them sent in, but I've got them for the year, so. 40 hours I gotta have, so start on next year.
Okay. What do we got?
Yes.
No one got anything?
No.
Tracy?
No.
Brady? Thank you, Jamie. Rick? You got the floor?
I don't have anything.
Nothing?
Nope.
All right.
That's why I showed up.
Dawn?
Okay,
Tracy,
you want
Brady?
me to start?
Yeah, at the Rockies game.
Do you have anything for
No.
Rick? No?
Yeah, I do. I fixed a couple more leaks at your conference.
Did you fix that today?
We're gaining. There's just a few things he's gotta learn is all. But, I mean, there's tricks to that, putting them water lines together on them sprinkler systems. They got a little pressure on
Yeah.
them. He's gaining,
Well, he's kind of jumped into a snake
and he
shed.
told me he's not a bummer.
Well, it's okay. We've asked a lot out of him to learn.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Thank you, Rick. Jill?
Only one, you'll see in your packet, 2 different credit card options with REO meeting. We'll need to be closing that account, so we'll need to get another one in place. Both of our local banks that we have our depositories, the Guarantee and the People's Bank offer cards. I need a motion to move forward to apply with one or the other, or both, whatever you see fit. They are across the board comparable.
I would say get one from each.
I want to.
No annual fee.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. The reason you need these to replace something else, is that right?
Are you leaving on the 24th?
Oh.
That card is in her name,
Understand.
and then you can't transfer
Mhm.
that. This allows us to get these in place, or one of them in place, prior to her leaving, so that we can get everything switched over.
That's a good one of each.
I'd make a motion that we enroll in the rewards card from the Guarantee Bank and the company rewards card from the People's Bank. How many of each do we get?
We get 2 in our office, it's usually the treasurer and myself, 1 for Rick, and then an extra, but
Okay.
we keep in the safe for.
So an even number.
Okay.
Okay, got a motion on the table, on the floor.
I'll second.
Second by Tracy. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Okay. Anything else, Jill?
That's all I have.
Not anything for Jill? Nope. Tracy?
Nope.
Brady? Nope. Nor do I. Moving on, Ariel, you got anything for us?
I do not.
Nothing. Dawn, anything for Ariel?
Nope.
Tracy?
Nope.
Brady? Nope. Nor do I. Tabitha, do you have anything?
Nope,
Nothing.
nothing.
Dawn?
Nope.
Tracy?
No.
Brady?
No.
Wow, it's going quick.
You're doing great.
Wow.
You're quite the mayor, boy.
It's gonna be a record time. Do we want to discuss candidates for the open position tonight or wait? In my opinion, the sooner the better, but that's my opinion. You get somebody, the first several meetings, you're just lost trying to learn what we're doing, but if you guys think there's,
Election day is 7th,
6 or 7.
6th or 7th. I mentioned this before, but since there's the possibility of us needing to replace 2, would that be for us 2 meetings? Before, the first meeting after the election?
You're talking about the primary
The
election?
primary, yes, the
Okay.
primary. waiting till after the primary to appoint, since we may have to be appointing two anyhow.
If you get on, you would be with us until
December,
December 31.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But sometimes it might be better to know if you're, wait. I mean, if we left it open for another 2 weeks, we get some more names thrown in the hat. And if this,
Because I got a
if they,
couple names that want to be in that.
if
that
they,
didn't fill these out.
if they know, okay, I missed Dave's seat and my seat was coming up, that would be,
I think
when
it's,
they would know, like, hey, there'd be a second filling coming.
I
I
agree.
feel like you've all mentioned that you know people who are interested, who haven't filled out the application, if that's what it's called or whatever, just the interest form. And so it kind of seems like if you all know there are people who are interested, maybe you should give them a chance to at least like fill out the paperwork.
That's fine, just to
That's
keep
what-
everybody on the level playing
Yeah,
field.
I think
Maybe put like a deadline out there, so at
Yeah,
least then
there you
people
go.
know, here's when we're closing it, here's when we're gonna
Yeah.
make our decision, and there isn't a lot of confusion about when.
I agree. I think, honestly, I think if they don't fill out an application, they're not considered.
Well, and I know one of my guys didn't know you had to fill all these out,
Yeah.
so.
Well, you don't, I don't think.
You don't have to. We chose to get it out there to help get the word out.
Okay.
And this gives you the information if it is someone that's been in town maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, 2
I think
years.
it's a
that
good
you-
idea. I
may
think
not
they
know
need
well.
to do that.
I think, just from, if you're not willing, this is a short application, I think having those is a good idea. And giving them, another 2 weeks or another 12 or 11 days, say the Friday before the next meeting.
Mhm.
And the form might be a good resource as well if we need to look at something
Yeah.
down the road as well.
Right.
Yes.
So we can go back to it, so I don't disagree with that at all.
So the motion would be to table appointment till,
Next Friday.
Friday, or Friday before our meeting on Monday.
yeah,
Well, we won't make,
Second
probably
meeting.
won't make the appointment until the meeting, right?
right.
Yeah. So if they want to put their name in, they probably ought to have it in the Friday before.
Okay, and that would be what date, Jill?
19.
19th?
Wizard.
Yeah, and if you
I
got,
learned math from
So-
Mr. Wicks.
thank you very much.
So
They know
smart.
what the day is.
Except
That has
I ran
nothing to
out of
do with
sevens,
that.
that also- Yeah, I mean, if you got people that are interested, make sure they know
Yeah.
we want them to
Yeah.
do this. Because I could see somebody saying, look, I filled that application, I gave you information about myself, and here's somebody that's just said they want in, so you put them in.
And they all republish, but they are available online. I can send them an email that is a fillable form that they can type in. They can get a paper copy, call and I'll mail it, whatever works.
Sounds good.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, governing body reports, so we done with them?
We'll
We
need
need
a
to-
motion for
We'll
that.
table,
Yeah.
table the appointment until last meeting in July.
Okay, Don's got a motion on the floor,
I'll second it.
second by Brady. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Let Tracy do
Approved.
You got one in.
Okay, that should wrap that up. Governing body reports, I don't have anything. Tracy, do you have anything?
no,
I have nothing.
Don,
Nope.
Brady,
Nope.
6:45, that's probably a record.
Wow.
no. Bryce had one in 18 minutes once.
So we'll have to work on that.
Yeah, when there's no new business.
That's a very good plan, sure.
Well, that concludes the business meeting for the City of Smith Center for July 8th. I need a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
by Tracy, second by
I got
Mr.
distracted.
Peterson. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. Motion approved.
I,